Hey entrepreneur, this is Mark News with Mr. Marketing. Welcome to this special presentation entitled Just Because There's an Economic Recession, ladies and gentlemen. That is no excuse not to make money, part 2. Ladies and gentlemen, part 2 of this video series is going to expose you to two more incredibly powerful reasons of why and how an economic recession, ladies and gentlemen, is not only an excuse not to make money, but it's actually an untapped opportunity and a reason to do so. Now, I didn't mention this in the first video, ladies and gentlemen, but I feel I need to mention it now because I don't want you to misunderstand. I understand that during an economic downturn, especially a prolonged one, a lot of strain is put on people in their relationships, be it personal and business. Sometimes marriages, friendships, business partnerships are destroyed or really messed up where it's almost impossible to repair. So I don't mean to sound callous and suggest, hey, there's a recession going on, you can profit. Somebody, in other words, somebody has to win because somebody is losing. What I'm suggesting is, in spite of adversity, there can and is some silver linings, some untapped opportunities that you and I can and should take advantage of. So I just wanted to clear that up and make sure you understood where I was coming from when I mentioned that before. Now, I want you to take a look at something. We're going to look at how you take an economic recession and turn adversity into victory. Ladies and gentlemen, you know during the last real estate meltdown a few years ago with the mortgage crisis, a lot of banks and other type of lenders ended up with a ton of properties on their books that if banks, I don't know if you know this, depending on their charter and the state laws and the federal regulations and all that hooey, if they get too many of those, by definition and by law, they can be shut down. And if they're not shut down, they can at least be severely crippled and punished economically and through litigation and regulation. So the bottom line is, when they get all these foreclosed properties on their books, they are highly motivated to get them off their books. Now, I want you to look at that property right there. Look at the grass, if nothing else. But there's something else I want you to think about. The longer a property stays vacant, do you know the tendency for it to be vandalized goes through the roof? The percentage that will happen. So they're highly motivated to get these things back up onto the tax roll and get them off of their books. So I want to introduce a third player now. Take a local landscaping company, and let's say at one point this company was going full guns, making anywhere from a half a million to $1 million a year, and all of a sudden with the economic downturn, they're not making as much money anymore. They've actually had to lay people off. Well, here's an opportunity because of an economic recession that we're going to take adversity and we're going to turn it into victory. Here's how this might happen. Either the bank or the savvy landscaping company, one or the other is going to reach out to the other. And as we said, the bank is highly motivated because they got all these foreclosed properties sitting on their books, and they're not being taken care of, and it's starting, it hurts the neighborhood too. I mean, you don't want to live in a neighborhood where you got a couple of foreclosed houses and the grass is growing really large. So here's what the bank or the landscaping company will do. The landscaping company approaches the bank and says, hey, we'd like to enter into a contract where we'll take care of these properties, depending on if it's the winter, we'll come and shovel the property, and if it's the summertime, we'll cut the grass and trim the hedges. But rather than charge you our normal retail rates, we'll give you anywhere from 25 to 35% discount because they're trying to get the business. But within the contract, the understanding is if we do a good job within 6 months to a year, you'll give us more properties, and you'll also introduce us to other lenders in the area who, on the quiet, have the same sort of properties, so that this person, this man or woman, whoever owns this company, can build their workforce back up. Because remember, they don't want to keep laying people off. They'd like to grow the business, but right now, in a normal sense, because there's a recession, there's just not as much money in the economy because people are holding on to their money longer, because they don't know if they're going to have a job or if they're going to have the same hours, and on and on and on. Here's a situation where, because of adversity, the two of these entities can come together and scratch each other's back, if you will, and create a profit margin out of it. So I wanted to share that with you and hopefully get your mind thinking on the solution instead of dwelling on the negative, which is the potential problem. And that was the real purpose of this video. And I hope you can see how, ladies and gentlemen, in some situations, an economic recession can actually be an untapped opportunity for profit and success. So on that note, for those of you who want to discover how you can add an additional 25% more gross profit to your bottom line, entrepreneur, if you're ready to do it in the next 90 days or less without having to add any new customers or clients, then what you're really saying is you want to grab your free 9-page special report. You head over to youcanmarketonline.com/sales, and that's where you can get it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, here's a quick question. Who else do you know in business who's struggling, who could use some help? Do they respect your opinion? Because if they do, you need to forward this video to them and help them out. They'll thank you later. On the other hand, if you yourself are wondering what you need to do to get to the next level with your business, product, or service, no matter how you primarily market on or offline, then please don't hesitate to grab your free 22-part Small Business Marketing Mastery Series, because this is an additional free 22 email sequential lessons spread out that you're going to be exposed to over time. It's my free gift to you. It's my way of saying thank you and welcome to the inner circle. It's an additional free gift on top of the free 9-page special report. But here's the best part. Ladies and gentlemen, I totally respect your opinion. Meaning, if you decide for whatever reason after you subscribe to the inner circle, it's not going to do what I tell you it can do, then by all means, please feel free to unsubscribe anytime you wish for whatever reason you want. This is Mark Newsom, Mr. Marketing. We'll see you again next time on the Marketing Minute.